Today is the 23rd of March 2021. We are 1 year into COVID restrictions and lockdowns. Where have we gone? What's been going on? What's happening here? Let's have a look at a couple of news articles from today and see what's coming and what's on the agenda. So the first thing we're going to look at here is an article from Sky News, one of my favourite news outlets to have a look at. So the headline here says, COVID-19, holidaying abroad will mean a £5,000 fine under new coronavirus laws set to come in next week. To me, that seems like a mad thing to be doing when allegedly we are relaxing the COVID restrictions or aiming towards doing that. Why are they bringing out new measures? Well, let's see. And while we're talking about this, actually, the whole Coronavirus Act, it's going to be extended until October, without a doubt. That'll be voted through on the 29th, I believe. But we'll get to the actual dates later in this little snippet here. So anyway, new COVID laws will mean a £5,000 fine. Will mean £5,000 fines for taking a foreign holiday, and more protests will be allowed. So they're going to clamp down on going abroad on holiday or for leaving the country without a valid reason, basically. But protests are going to be allowed. I don't know. It seems a bit strange. So the 29th of March is to be an important date, which is obviously it's step one of their relaxation of COVID restrictions. So on the 29th, you'll be allowed to meet 6 people outside, but restrictions on indoor gatherings will still be in place. But these new regulations are to be voted on. Yeah, so they will also come into effect on Monday, the 29th of March. So if these regulations are voted through, the extension to the Coronavirus Act, the restrictions or whatever they want to do with that, they're going to be extended till October. And without a doubt, that's going to be voted in on Monday, the 29th of March. The government faces little opposition other than from its own MPs. Labour aren't bothered. They're just voting with the government. I don't really understand the purpose of Labour at the moment. There's supposed to be opposition, holding the government to account, maybe question a few of the things that they're implementing, but it's just not happening. There's supposedly 50 to 60 Tory MPs who are going to vote against this. But that's not enough, obviously, to stop the act from going through. Chief amongst these is a guy called Steve Baker. He's the MP for Wickham, which is, means nothing to me. But I don't know the guy at all. I've never really seen much about him. I guess he's like a conservative backbencher. But he, on the article that I'm going to link, in the Sky News article, he actually there's an interesting 1-minute video of him talking about the government's excessive COVID-19 powers and how he thinks, quote, they should go now because the laws, as he calls them, are unlawful. He says there's been 100% unlawful prosecutions. So whenever this has gone, and whenever anyone's challenged this to go to the court, any COVID-related fine, anything like that, if they've challenged that and gone to court, there's been 100% unsuccessful prosecution rate. So no judge has prosecuted anyone for this, and that's quite an interesting thing. So he's saying that these laws are unlawful. That's Steve Baker MP's opinion on it. I don't know. It's a difficult thing. I'm not a law expert or anything like that, but if 50 or 60 MPs are worried about this, it seems like a legitimate concern to me, But who knows? But anyway, this extension of the Coronavirus Act is going to go through until October, and I suspect it's going to roll on from there. So MPs will vote on the laws officially titled the Health Protection Coronavirus Restrictions Steps England Regulations 2021 on Thursday. So they'll be voting on this on the 25th, and they'll then come into effect on the 29th. The extension will come into effect. The new regulations form part of a move from ministers to extend measures contained within the Coronavirus Act. Some MPs are said to rebel, but the government is expected to easily win support of the Commons. See, nobody's really speaking out. Like I say, there's a decent number of Tory MPs who are against this. Labour, all for it. Everyone else in the government, obviously, all for it. All toeing the line, no thought. The new rules will also mean protests will be considered a permitted exception to the ban on mass gatherings. So for some reason they're going to allow protests, I suspect because the right people have been whinging at the government, lefty, feminist type people at that Sarah Everard gathering. I think the police's handling of that protest or vigil, whatever you want to call it, was not good. And that's obviously sparked this outrage. But the government seems to be relaxing that now. So if you've got a legitimate protest which has been approved by the police, etc., booked in, and they're going to allow that to happen, but we have to make sure that you're putting coronavirus safety measures in place on that. So I don't know. England's COVID roadmap. So on the 29th of March, the rule of 6 in outdoor sports. 12th of April, shops, beauty. I could do some of that. A bit sunbed maybe. Been stuck in the house for too long. Gyms and outdoor hospitality. 17th of May, indoor pubs, restaurants and entertainment. I'll be surprised if that happens. 21st of June. Now this is the big one. The 21st of June, all limits on social contact lifted. I just don't believe that that's going to happen. I hope it is. I hope that I'm totally wrong here, and I hope that it is going to happen. That they are going to lift all this stuff, that I can now go and meet friends and family outside I can go to the shop without wearing a bloody face mask. That you can go into a restaurant and just sit and relax and have your dinner, go to a pub and have a pint if you want one. Not that I drink much, but yeah, I just can't see it happening. Like I say, I do hope it does. But I would like to say it's going to, but I don't think that's realistic at all. Not the way things are going. I just can't see it. What are your thoughts? 21st of June, are we going back to normal? Are they going to lift all limits on social contact? They're going to end social distancing and just like that. It's the 21st of June now, we're all better. Already we're sitting at 28 million people have had the first dose of the vaccine, and we're still in lockdown. Like, we're still officially locked down. I mean, I'm back at work now at least, but officially we're still in lockdown. Non-essential shops are still closed. What's going on here, man? More than half the adult population has been vaccinated. That's about all I'm going to cover on this Sky News article. I mean, I didn't really want to do another COVID video, but there's just nothing else in the news. There's nothing happening. Nothing of any interest anyway. So here we are. That's the end of the Sky News article, and there's also a quick BBC article that I wanted to have a look at. I'll just get this up on the computer. So here we are then. This is the BBC article. COVID. UK marks 1 year since the first lockdown. A whole year of this. Who would have thought that at the time? The UK is marking 1 year since coronavirus lockdown was announced. Yeah, I remember it well. I mean, I'm sure you do as well. It felt like crazy times. At the time, I have to be honest, I really thought that this was the big one, like the Captain Trips, if you've read Stephen King's The Stand. I really did think that this could be a real big thing coming, but it's just sort of petered out into the flu. But anyway, timeline. How did the UK lock down? On the 16th of March 2020, all these dates are going to be 2020, the public are told to avoid non-essential travel and social contact and to work from home where possible. Yep. On the 18th of March, schools are told to close from the 20th of March until further notice, except for the children of key workers and vulnerable pupils. Remember this? 20th of March. This is where I really started to feel like the 18th and the 20th of March. I remember those dates back from last year. Restaurants, cafes and pubs are told to close. it felt real then. I mean, it really did. Now, I'm not saying coronavirus isn't real, but it felt like this. It felt like there was a real something coming. But in my opinion, as it's turned out, the only thing that's really come into force is a total attack on our civil liberties. I mean, sadly, 126,000 people have died with COVID. That's if you're taking these numbers at face value. How many of these people died of pneumonia? How many of these people would have died anyway? It's sad, but old people are going to die. I'm going to die, like, hopefully, I don't know, in 40, 50 years time, but it's just one of them things that's going to happen. You're going to die, right? It's just a fact of life. Did COVID kill all those people? I don't know. What do you think? Did COVID kill 126,000 people in the UK? I'm not so sure. But then I really don't know. It's one of those things. It'll be interesting to see what history makes of this. So in 20, 30 years time, it'll be interesting to see what's written about this period. But then anyway, so the 23rd of March, the Prime Minister announces the first national lockdown, telling people they will only be allowed to leave their homes for limited reasons. Non-essential shops are to close. And here we are, 23rd of March 2021, non-essential shops are closed still. I mean, again, they were open for a little while, weren't they? But really, we've been in lockdown this whole time, much as they did relax it over the summer. It's been essentially a lockdown the whole time. Like, personally, when this lockdown came in, I couldn't go to work. I work in people's homes and going from house to house sort of thing with the public. So I didn't go to work. I went back to work in June. I worked until October, I think, and then there was another lockdown. Then I went back for a little while before Christmas, and then I've just gone back to work this week because I provide like a non-essential service. I don't know, it's been crazy. So I've gone back to work this week. Technically, I probably shouldn't have, but other people provide the same services I do or at work, so I thought, screw it, I'll go back to work. But I've also been injured, so it's kind of laid us off for a while. I broke my foot, which wasn't good at all. But this is an interesting thing from the BBC actually here. But few would have imagined the scale of the loss of lives, well, or liberties to come. The restrictions we would still be facing 12 months on. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. The restriction on our liberties is insane. The loss of lives is tragic. Whatever they died from, it's tragic that people die. People, like, obviously that's someone's father, mother, son, daughter. It's really sad that people die. And allegedly there's a 7% excess deaths over the last 12 months, but I don't think official figures have been released. So I really don't know. I can't quote that, but that's just what it is, 7%. A year ago today, fewer than 1,000 people in the UK had died with coronavirus. The figure now stands at more than 126,000. The Prime Minister said then that there were, quote, no easy options, and the way ahead would be hard. Yeah, no shit, Boris. But few would have imagined the scale of the loss of lives or liberties to come. The restriction we will still face 12 months on. Yes, that's the gist of the BBC article. I'm surprised that the BBC is actually addressing the loss of our liberties in any way, shape, or form, like even just slightly. Yeah, it's a baffling sort of times we're living in. I suppose it's interesting times. Something's happening. I mean, something to tell your grandchildren about, I suppose, or something like my son can tell his grandchildren about, that he was alive then. But anyway, here we are then. We are a year in. This is another COVID video. A year into COVID-19 restrictions. Lockdown's still ongoing. Allegedly, things are going to ease off, but they're going to fine you for going on holiday, for travelling without a valid reason. £5,000. So what's going on here? What's happening? Why are they extending the Coronavirus Act to October if allegedly we're coming out of restrictions on the 21st of June? Why is that happening? I really don't know. What do you think? Pop it in the comments. Be interesting to hear from people. I'm sure this video won't get many views. I mean, these COVID videos never really do. All they seem to do is cost me a couple of subscribers of people who are on here watching my Amazon Flex tutorials and stuff like that. But I'm not really that bothered. I do this YouTube thing for fun, really, just to vent and let off a little bit of my thoughts. So yeah, what do you think? Where we're going? Where's this headed? What's happening? How are you coping with lockdowns? Are you sick of it? I'm pretty sick of it. I hope that life gets back to normal. I would like to never have to use the words social distancing or any of that kind of shit again. Hope you found it interesting. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let's have a chat in the comments. But subscribe would be awesome. I'll catch you there.